So, you are standing out here with Ulrich Rohal and Falmanar. There is a human guard before you. You see some of the other guards behind him, some of them human, some of them dwarven. Still no sign of the others which you left resting in the inn.
Well, Nimlalwe was out here.
That is
But
correct.
didn't she go off to find strippers? It's like, we don't know that, but she's,
You don't see her.
she's fucked up. Well,
She went to go find more alcohol.
probably. Maybe she went to go fuck Russell again. I don't know.
Who knows?
So,
Alright,
we're gonna start with actually Ulrich making our Arcana roll.
Okay. That one. There. And... Alright, smart boy, yes or no? Smart boy.
Okay. Where did I put that little tag? 1 second. 5E. Wow, 24. Okay. Yeah. So you know that the deck in your hands is a thing of legend. You're in awe that this wizard got his hands on it and so easily lost it. But you attribute that to perhaps madness, and perhaps the ease at which you've defeated him was also due to the fact that he meddled with the deck. He may have been even greater than he was in combat before meddling with the deck. You don't know much more about it other than the fact that it is the deck of many things.
It is the deck of many things.
It is things that you've heard about in legend, and you know that it can be very dangerous, and you also sense that it is very, has a strong sense of magic about it. Well, you guys feel a little refreshed. You saved the day, you helped these guards. They did mention that a lot of the court wizards were not here to deal with this Maladar because they were dealing with something in the Tikri Anchorage district of the city. So you stepping forth and handling the situation was welcomed.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty much what the guard says to you. I just sort of like narrated it, but yeah.
Right, yes. Dead now. Barb devil, very messy, crispy. All good.
It was some mean motherfucker, wasn't he?
Yes, I
Hurt as fuck.
absolutely. I think mean motherfucker is the perfect terminology to use in this situation.
Mm-hmm. Could you guys maybe help me out with some? I'm a little bit hurt. Anyone?
What?
Also, kind of like meaning, like pointing towards the guards. I am like really badly hurt.
Didn't you get a healing potion? Back up in the...
This is not an emergency situation.
Oh, well.
We kind of considered it to be.
I mean, look, my owl could preen your hair. I might have a rag or two you could use as a bandage. That's... Do I look like a priest to you, darling? Do I?
No, but if maybe the guards perhaps could point us in the right direction.
The guard says, "But of course, you've been a great help to us. You can consider yourselves heroes." And he waves forward this guard on his left, and he appears to have a necklace of Lathander, which you recognize easily on his chest. And he lays hands upon you, and you gain 20 HP.
Marvelous. Thank you.
Nice.
Healthy, your boy.
Yes.
Not nearly dead.
We may not have what it takes to stop a mad wizard, but we do have a little bit of healing among us. Some abjuration.
Mm-hmm. I'm feeling quite refreshed. Thank you.
Actually, I do have a question. Is there any sort of a dwarven leader in town, by any chance?
Dwarven leader, can you be more specific?
Somebody noble, royal, or perhaps some sort of a religious leader, anything like that.
Well, the king hasn't made his way out recently. If you're speaking of Kilvar Fireforge,
Is what? All right, look, I want to show you something that I found in a very bad place. And maybe you can tell me a little bit about it. I think it belongs with someone dwarven. I pull the golden dwarf crown out of my bag of holding. Does this look familiar to you?
You see the man look over the crown. At first his eyes widen. And then he reaches out and looks to you as if to have permission whether he can touch it or not.
Or let him touch it, yes.
Okay.
Oh.
So I'm actually going to make a roll here. Publicly in the channel.
Okay.
Boy.
I'm doing an investigation roll with the guard. Let's see, he has... Alright, that's gonna be...
Nice.
Okay.
Ooh.
He looks at you with fear and concern.
Oh, okay, that look isn't good. Can you tell me a little bit about what's on your mind?
He makes a hand motion, and the rest of the guards start to move in cautiously. And he says, "How did you get your hands on this?"
We ended up running from some cultists. They are working with what was it, Gungadin? Ganadar? Ganadar.
Ganadar.
Yeah, they're working with Ganadar, trying to kill all of the other gods and remove their influence from this realm. We fought them. We had to run and try to escape a band of orcs that were also breaking in. And underneath the cultist compound, we found some old ruins with statues describing the murder of religious leaders. That was what it was, right, Steve? It's been like a year. Yeah.
He says, "This is an exact replica of the king's crown. It is ornate and intimately designed to look exactly like the king's crown. Why would you have something like this? Why would you have a replica? You must be up to no good."
No, I found it under the cultist compound. Like I said, they're trying to remove the influence of all of the other gods in the world. He's a very, very evil and ancient god who is plotting to destroy this world, and my friends and I are attempting to stop it. I found this crown underneath the cultist compound. You would recognize the cultists because they have this eye. I pull out the amulet that's inert. This is their symbol. Have you seen this symbol, sir?
I'm trying to remember out of character where you got that amulet. That one is the... Is that the one you threw in the snow?
No, this is the one that was inert.
No magic. Got it. All right. Okay.
No magic,
so
yeah.
roll a persuasion to see if you are coming across as forthright, which you are.
Okay.
He stands there as his guards look upon him for instruction, and he runs his fingers across the crown as he's thinking.
I saw that these people had been murdered and their gods and icons profaned, and I thought I should bring this with me, find who it belonged to, bring it back to the people and to the god that it belonged to. I lean in and I say, "Are you certain it's a replica? Because I really don't know anything about it."
He says, "If this is true, then you will not oppose a search by our men here to make sure you are not some sort of fiend from this tower speaking through a forked tongue, deceiving us as slain adventurers going up to kill." Maladar.
Well, absolutely. Go
Very
ahead,
good.
darling.
You see this man here, his dwarf actually, cast something briefly. You can make an arcane roll, any of you, if you would like to try to
Oh, yeah, sure.
figure out what it is.
18?
Lorien and Ulrich determine that it is most likely true sight. They're looking to see if you are in some way disguised through magic. So first he asks Falminar to step forward.
Here I am getting us in trouble, trying to do the right
I
thing.
don't like this.
So they search Falminar. Let me take a look at his character sheet here. Because some of you may or may not have contraband. I don't remember. Let's see. He's got a backpack, bedroll, clothes, mess kit, playing cards, rope, a water skin, gauntlets of overpower, just a bunch of basic shit. I mean, gauntlets of overpower is really a special item. Oh, red dragon skull mail. You see the guards really having a good look at his armor, and they compliment his armor. They are impressed with the metalwork here.
They're gonna find my lacy panties.
They're gonna find my dismembered, well, invisible fairy corpse.
Well, how are they gonna know if it's invisible?
They thank him again for helping with the combat, and they see that his weapon is still not cleaned with blood there. Next, they ask Lorien to step forward.
I step forward and give the searching dwarf a wink, and
Let's
say under
see.
my breath, "My spirit."
You have at least two dwarves checking you while the human guard overwatches. So let's see. They're passing through. They're impressed by your short bow and your dagger. The bag of holding. They ask, is there anything that we should be wary of if we put our hands in there? Is it safe to look through? I know you wizards tend to sometimes have oddities.
Surprise fireball. It's a fireball in the bag.
It should all be all right. Yeah, it should be all right. Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
They reach in and sort of look at what things you have. One of them pulls out a wooden Cthulhu figure, which
Yes.
out of character, I don't fucking remember where you found that, but
Everything about
They
that
say-
number is like Colton's compound.
the dwarven guard hands it to the human guard, and the human guard says, "What is this? Can you please explain this, and why would you carry this with you?"
I found it in that cultist compound also, and honestly, I have no idea. But it was weird, so I picked it up. I'm a bit of a pack rat. It's a problem.
Roll a persuasion on that, because right now they're looking for anything suspicious. You worshipping anything that is out of the ordinary. He nods. He's skeptical, but he nods. He finds the scroll of commune and the scroll of contact other, and he says, "Can you please tell me what business you have carrying these around? Consorting with deities, perhaps?"
I also found those, and honestly, I'm not sure what I'm going to use them for, if I will, but you never know. You know, as a wizard, it's always good to have as many spells in your arsenal as possible. Perhaps I could use it to warn one of the other gods about Gongadin's intentions. That's actually a good
Gonador.
idea.
I'd say.
I turned to Rohal, like, will you help me remember that?
Yeah, you told me, and then you keep forgetting the name.
The guard.
That's
the
fine.
guard.
Fine, you,
Oh, I'm
go
sorry.
for
I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt.
I'm not. My character's not forgetting it. I have brain damage and I have a hard time with names. Okay, I'm trying.
Yeah, no, okay, right. Because if you said it, like, it would just be a funny thing. I'm just like
Yeah, no.
reminding you of the correct
No,
name.
I'm
Anyways,
just
go
really
ahead.
bad with names.
Yeah, same. Usually.
The guard looks at the pterodon bone warhorn with interest, but says nothing. Puts it back in the pack. He says, "May I take this relic of Gonador as evidence for us to take what you're saying seriously?"
Sure, I know what it looks like by now. That one's not magical, so you should be fine. And in fact, it would be good to show it around, because if you see anyone bearing that, wearing robes with it, be very, very cautious. They will attack your temples with massive glowing pink crystals that are summoned with human sacrifice.
Everyone knows that this is happening. This is not
Yes.
news. It has happened here as well, and we've heard news of Port Firth and those crystals there, and word of a tiefling was able
Yeah.
to suppress the crystals.
That was Archimus. He's one of my fellows. I left him back in my bedroom at the inn. Not sure if he's recovered yet.
What inn is he staying at?
This one's a fun one.
He's staying. What inn is it, Steve?
The Baron Hen.
He's staying at the Bear and Hen.
Without a word, the guard waves, and 3 of his men head that way to question Archimus about that, to verify your story.
Corroborate.
Let's see. You have a lot of things, Ev.
I do have a lot of things, but I got a bag of holding, so it's okay.
He starts paging through the small leather-bound book and the hardcover book, nodding, saying, "You've been following these cultists for some time then."
Well, those are actually the notes of a slaver who was selling slaves to the cultists for human sacrifice. He was sort of obsessed in following them too, but he was providing them with human sacrifices, so he's no longer a problem for anyone ever again.
He then picks up with his dagger, as to not touch, the lacy chonies and looks at you quizzically.
Alright, I found those. I found those on the 3rd floor of this tower.
Sir, these are decrepit. Why? Is this some kind of spell component for your strange magics?
Don't kick shame.
Sorry, what was it?
Some dirty old
the
panties
panties?
that you found in some fucking dungeon somewhere.
You didn't say they were dirty, Steve. You said they were lacy.
Yeah, but they were like
Sometimes-
wrinkled in a fucking crevice in a dungeon for like 100 years. He waves
Sometimes
forward.
I like to feel pretty.
He waves forward roll hall and says, "If we may."
Go for it. I don't mind.
Let's see. So he rummages through your bag gently.
Same goes for my bag of holding. Just nothing in particular. Nothing special is in there. Don't worry.
You travel like most druids, light.
That is correct. Don't turn the small chest upside down. It has invisible magical things in it. I don't want to lose them.
Can you be more specific as to what's in it? And this appears to be a locked chest, and the key is right here. But I'll take your word for it. Just if you can tell me what's in it, that'd suffice.
I mean, you can take a look, but it's invisible. So, it's a fairy corpse. You might not want to meddle with it. It's a long story. I have some kind of thing with fairies. They not really communicate. They kind of somehow appear in my surroundings sometimes. I don't know what it is. It's just something that happens. That one is one that we managed. I and a couple of friends managed to kill, and I'm trying to find out how I can find out what is actually going on.
I see. So you're a man of nature. I understand.
Correct.
The dwarf that used True Sight comes and whispers something into the human guard's ear. The human waves forward Ulrich.
He's not here. He's saying my grandparents are just gone, so give me a bit.
Oh, there we go. I
Okay.
accidentally
There we
muted my
go.
mic. Hi, I'm back.
Hi. So the dwarven guard whispers something in the human guard's ear, and the human guard waves you forward Ulrich.
Oh shit, that's me.
He says to you, "Would you care to explain yourself?"
Oh, this will be interesting.
Shit.
I don't really give a shit.
What do you mean? What do you mean, shit, Ulrich?
Someone. Oh, Archimus is here. Okay. Uh,
Yes!
I'll go over and
Hey,
all right. This is
We're being muttered, or what do you call it?
We're
being
being
searched.
searched and questioned because I thought I would help the dwarven people regain one of their lost artifacts. It's not going well.
So right now, so Roha was just searched and he's fine, but right now the guard is speaking to Ulrich and saying, care to explain yourself?
I'm so torn. All right, fuck it. Yeah, I'll go over and take off the ring.
Oh, okay, so as he does this, Rohal, Lorien, and Falmanar, you see his form change from tiefling to human. He's
That's
about
backwards.
to
Going from human to tiefling.
Sorry, from human to
There you
tiefling.
go.
I'm all kinds of from human to tiefling.
Surprise!
I'm the dude playing the dude disguised as the other dude. Yeah. So that happens.
So yeah.
Lorien makes a
Oh.
surprised sound.
And I just say I just want to say out of character. I was trying to keep things going for you, but this sort of like with the crown, I wasn't expecting Lorien to do that. Anyway, go on, Lorien. Sorry.
You're darling. Look at that tail. Why would you hide that? Look at you. You're precious. What color tiefling is Ulrich anyway?
Dark blue.
Oh, we've got a purple one, and now we've got a blue one.
So elaboration. I mean, still same clothing. So like noble clothing, nice stuff, cloak, but it's dark blue with the same long black hair. And then what was
Horns?
it? I wrote something down. Yeah, the horns.
Tail.
You got a horn.
Right, horns, tail. The left horn does have like kind of marks, like kind of scratch marks all over it. Well, not all over it, but like concentrated.
Is it like notches, or does it look like something fucked it up?
It's like someone was trying to take it off. I wrote something down. So this is the wrong page. Oh, that's because I'm looking at the wrong character. I'm looking at the wrong character sheet. I'm competent.
By the way, Archimus, you were passed out at the inn after a night of passion, so you're not with us. There.
Alright,
So
They
Archimus
sent
wakes
some
up
guards
and
to question you.
Archimus heard some commotion through his inn window. He takes all of his things, and as he comes outside, he's still coming down the street. He does not see the scene before him yet, but yeah. So that's what the guard says to Ulrich. How does Ulrich respond?
Oh, the other thing I wanted to add on to that, it's the right eye is kind of like a darker crimson, and that's entirely that, because that's how tieflings work. And then the left eye is more of like a kind of human. It's more of a human eye, but it's like a purplish dark blue color. I hide it for a reason, because I didn't plan on attacking anyone, well, other than the two up there, but
What he means to say, I'm gonna guess, is that people can be racist as fuck. And I look
Yes.
over at
Yep.
the head dwarven guard, especially against tieflings, as I've witnessed with our Archimus.
So let me get this straight out of character. So you are supporting his persuasion, right? So that means he would get persuasion with advantage. So Ulrich, roll persuasion with advantage, because you have a
Alright.
character helping you.
persuasive boy. I'm freaking ready for the rate.
Oh, I hope. Nice.
Oh, dang. 20
Nice.
and 20. Interesting.
The guard says, "Put the ring back on." I
I'll
understand
put-
where
I'll
you're
put that
coming
on.
from. What you see before you is a human with some dwarves, but I understand better than any persecution. It wasn't overnight that I became a guard. It was a long and arduous process, and many people made my life very hard doing so. So I know what that's like. And I'll have you know that Gryhold is one of the more liberal cities in the realm. So I hope you enjoy your stay here, and if you do come across any trouble, I need you to let us know.
I bow my head.
And with that, he senses Ulrich's pain from being discriminated against. You don't know what trials and tribulations this human guard has gone through, but it seems to have touched him for you to come across so honest about that. He hands the crown back to Lorien and says, "I don't know who made that crown, and I don't know why they made that crown, but they're certainly up to no good, and I suggest you stay out of their business. Regardless,
Well-
it is worth a pretty coin, so let that be something for you.
Thank you, sir. I
If
appreciate
we
it.
encounter other guards that might have, well, that don't know that we have discussed this with you, they will most likely be as, well,
Well, I'm
cautious
not.
as you as well. So,
Given-
what would we be telling them to, well, make them realize that we are not followers of those cultists or whatever?
That which lurks beneath.
Yes.
Tell them you
that's
spoke with myself.
what she said.
The name is Briarfell. Tell them you spoke with Briarfell. And
Understood.
if anything, if they ask you to go with them to the Gryled prison, comply. The guards here tend to be very fair. Of course, there's a bad apple in just about any group, but the protocol is we would take you to the prison and question you. Now, if you
Understood.
ask to have myself, Briarfell, there, you will be better off.
Thank you, sir.
But as you know, there is a lot going on in the Tikari anchorage, so we must be on our way. Thank you once again. We will have our men secure this tower and make sure it is safe. Was there
Are
anything else
there any-
other than the barbed devil
You
and
mentioned-
the wizard? Was there anything else up there? Any other person?
We
No.
didn't really check the last room for traps, but we don't think that there are any more traps. We did encounter some on the way up.
no
So be a little
people.
bit cautious. No creatures, as far as we can tell, could tell. A disintegrated staff on the floor. That was a snake, temporarily.
Very good, very good.
That's about
So
it.
two things happen. You, Ulrich, you realize that the shocking discovery of your appearance has distracted the guards from actually searching your pack. Therefore, they did not see your new magical item. And Archimus, you round the corner here. You're down here on the map, and you see your 4 familiar party members. You see, actually, sorry, there's one man you don't know. You see Falminar and Lorien. They seem to have just come out of battle. They seem a little bit sweaty, and there's blood on Falminar's weapon. And you see Ulrich, the person you met. I don't think you met him in real
He's
life,
the one that first talked to me.
but you met him in character. Yeah, that's right. You did meet him. That's right. You guys were at the table and you were gambling, right? And then you see a new person. He appears to be a wood elf standing next to Lorien.
Ah,
Okay.
and do we see Archimus?
Perception roll, all of you.
Oh, yeah, forgot to turn off advantage. Neither of them are particularly good, but
Rollhall is the only one who notices him, but he has no idea who he is, so he just appears to be a normal stranger.
But he's looking our way, I think. But was he being pulled out by the guards?
No, he was
Yeah,
not.
they said. He said.
Archimus is just kind of wandering the streets
Because-
over here. Oh, right, you
All
mean
right, 'cause the
earlier.
guards-
They
Yeah.
sent guards to question him. Remember?
No, yeah, but they went around the other side of the inn, so completely avoided.
Okay.
I assume Archimedes can see his familiar party members minus the one, correct?
Correct, yeah. You can see everything from here.
Alright, he's readjusting his bag, he's walking up. He's gonna eye the wood elf, kind of with a little bit of a squint, doesn't really know who he is, especially standing next to his party members. But he's gonna make his way up to them.
I just fixed your token,
I'm
so now
giving
you can
them a
control the
s-
token as well.
Thank you.
I'm giving him a skeptic look and just shrug.
So,
Archimus, darling.
He's gonna give a little slight blush to his cheeks.
Oh, how's your tail this morning?
About as good as ever.
Oh, good.
So,
I was a little worried.
this is the
You-
fellow you were talking about.
Yes, yes, this is Archimus.
Uh,
He's a bard.
Archimedes is
dude.
also going to look over at the guards here.
Oh, sorry, we're all friends here, darling.
Ah, well, okay. If
the
you
guards
say-
were
So-
they're just about to leave when they saw Archimus, and they said, "Is this the fellow Who took care of the crystals in Port Firth?
See my name's getting around. Yes, that'd be me.
It seems that your story checks out, wizard. I'll leave you to it, and cheers, Archimus, as they say.
Cheers to you.
By the way, yelling after the guards,
Yes?
you said you were going somewhere after you checked, you cleaned out the tower, or checked the tower. What is it that you're doing? What is going on?
The plague is
You said you
particularly
were in-
bad in the Tikari Anchorage district of the city. We're working on a quarantine there.
Okay, understood.
Have fun
in
with that.
regards to the plague and whatnot, we are very keen on, well, continuing our investigations. Would you mind, as we talked about before we went up into the tower, you mentioned that you could potentially see what we could do, talk to commanding officer, to see if we could get access in some way to
The library.
the library.
Well, the way things are run here in the city is where each squadron here is directed to patrol a certain quadrant of the city. So things are very compartmentalized. It won't hurt to cross the bridge and see what they can do for you there, but I can tell you I don't see people going in and out. It's more of an archive than it is a public library. You're free to cross the bridge. You're free to cross the bridge and see what's there.
So if I
Thank
was
you.
to mention your name in relation to well, when we tried to get in, saying that we helped out, would you mind me mentioning your name as a well, lubricant, if you will?
As much as it humbles me to admit, I may be something here with the security of the city and the harbor ward, and even the Tikari Anchorage to a degree. But when it comes to the Great Library, that's more of a court wizard business, you see. The library is guarded with heavy magics, and that is something that's far beyond my head.
Understood. But you wouldn't mind me using your name all the same,
But of course, you may. Once again, my name is Briarfell.
I recall. Thank you.
Stay safe out there.
I think that's... There we go. Stay safe. Yeah.
You too.
Cheers. Let's be on our way to the library, yeah?
Alright, yes, the library, and then we need to go to the Hardy Har.
Good.
To the
What?
The Hardy Har. The Hardy... Oh, was it Harlequin or Harlot? I can't
The Hardy
remember.
Harlequin. The Hardy Harlequin.
It's the Hardy Harlequin. Like the Hardy Harlot better, though.
Is that a poorly named tavern or?
Yes, we have a job with them, of some sort. So, but first,
But
this is
we're...
Archimus. This is
we're going to the
Rojo.
library.
This is Archimus, and Rojo wants to get into the library to do some research on the plague.
Yes,
So-
being
So,
a pragmatic individual, I would very much like to just focus on that first. That's my main focus in the city. I shall be joining you, was the discussion I had with the lawyer for a little while at least.
As long as you hold your own, not relying on us, I think we're fine.
Sounds, yeah.
Right.
Thumbs up.
Besides,
Chris,
if I
thumbs
could get a
up.
chance
Let's
to
go.
take a look at that library, I would very much enjoy. A wee little
I
look-see.
think we share that.
Yes.
So, wait, hold up. Where are we going? Are we going
Which way
this
is the
way?
library?
So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the map. Let's see here. Map of
Right.
Gryhold City. Boom. This is in your journals already, but I'm just pulling it up for your convenience. Now, it's going to take a minute for some of you to load because it's a pretty detailed map. You are located, the words that say Harbor Ward, you're currently located just to its west-northwest, where the road kind of chokes there. That's currently where you are, which is just west of where the Baron Hen is.
Where the inn is.
The Great Library is to the far. I'm sorry. The north is on the east side of the map. So the Great Library is on the northwestern part of the map, which is the top right little island there with the bridge that goes out to the Great Library.
Yeah, just use right and left, Steve, or change
Yeah,
those
top
directions
right,
on the image.
Top right.
Yeah.
I might just
Yeah.
edit that just for simplicity's sake, but
Yeah.
So that's to the top
Or
right.
you could just turn the map.
Yeah.
Top right. So we need to go along the path there. Like we can go from.
You can go along the
along the
water.
water. Can we? Yeah. Can we go along the water, or is that path blocked
Actually,
off right there?
No, because the bridge goes over that area.
Looks like
so
we need to go on that little
We need to go inward.
No.
walled out section.
We don't. We can walk down there. You see, there's a path up there.
I think you're both saying
upwards.
you're both saying the same thing. He means walk by the docks and then make his way in. I think you're both
Yeah,
saying the
yeah,
same
yeah.
thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought you meant like backwards. Yeah. Okay. From where we are right now.
No,
Yeah, that's fine.
I just went up in that, like, see how there's that big circle there?
Yeah. Exactly.
The
We were
bridge
saying the
comes
same
off
thing.
of. Yeah, we need that inner part. Yeah.
All right. So
yeah.
let's walk
How many
along the water
spellcasters
then.
does it take to walk across the city?
So that walk would only take about 10 to 15 minutes. It's a short walk.
Okay.
And your walk is fairly uninterrupted. You're here at the bottom of this map now. This is the bridge to the Great Library. And you see there's slight flurries in the sky. For those of you, like I know Rohal is new to the campaign, this is a fairly chilly region. There's slight flurries, the sky is just partly cloudy. The waters are choppy beneath the bridge, and the bridge is a good 20 feet high. You see kind of these nobles just having a date on the bridge. The bridge seems fairly clear otherwise. At the end of the bridge you see what appears to be actually a great library. It's looks almost like a fortress, a castle. And you do see people kind of roaming in front of it and on top of it. They appear to be wearing court robes.
I wrap my warm cloak around Artemis to keep him toasty.
He appreciates the gift.
On our right, can we take a look at those fellas?
Sure, make a perception roll.
And Mama?
They're
Very-
secret police.
Very to myself, got like hood up and all that. I don't.
Yeah, Archibus isn't worried about the two.
All right.
That's a pretty good roll. You see that the gentleman
Yes.
is, say, roughly in his 50s. He's human. The woman is a half-elf. She has kind of reddish brown hair. He's got a beard. They're wearing aristocratic clothing, and they seem to be holding hands and enjoying the view to the east. See, I know what I'm talking about now, east. And
Yeah.
they seem to be just keeping to themselves. They don't seem to be up to any mischief at all. Seem to be enjoying the...
Actually, you sure you're saying that right? That's the north, isn't it? Or is it east?
It's the east now.
Oh, just let it go.
It is the east. It is the east. There we
It
go.
doesn't matter.
He's a
It
wood elf. He's
doesn't-
all about navigating and stuff.
Right? Anyways, let's go. Yeah. Do they look like they are people of magic?
They do not appear to be people of magic. They appear to be civilians. You're not sure what their order of business is, but they appear to be... They don't appear to be adventurers in any way at all. They appear to be citizens of Gryl. They seem to be comfortable here as if they've lived here.
But they have aristocratic clothing, you said?
Yes. They appear to be well off and neatly
They,
dressed.
they might have information here, or maybe some form of the political power that could, as earlier mentioned, function as lubricant getting in. What do you think? Should we talk to them?
I think that we should let those people have their date. They're on a... I mean, it looks like they're having a romantic moment.
Yes, and sometimes a conversation from someone else might, I don't know, like a charming individual like yourself.
But
Might
take it
help
from a
it
charming individual like me. We should leave those people the fuck alone and go talk to the
Okay,
people
I'll
that are
just
actually...
keep walking away
Yes.
from from the group basically, and everyone else I assume you follow. Like everyone just follows.
We're just,
Yeah.
just gonna...
All right.
So
I'll
as,
just walk
as,
up to
so
towards everyone else.
as Lorien does that, you see that Falminar is almost hovering over Lorien. You're not really sure what their relationship is at all. You see that Lorien is indeed a half... Sorry, Falminar is a
hi.
half-elf wearing some very fancy armor, but he seems to be almost acting as if he's a bodyguard. I assume Artemis and Ulrich follow?
Yes.
I'm helping along with the tokens, but feel free to move them on your own as well. You see a half orc with a very long scimitar, longer than normal, on your left, wearing a cape and pauldrons, and you see what appear to be 2 court wizards, one dwarven and one human, with their hands raised up, as if asking what your presence here is. And all of you can make a perception roll.
Okay.
The Spider-Man meet with my token and the other guy. Just point at each other.
Gee.
Hey!
Ooh, we got a nice high roll. Okay. So, all of
The floor
you
here is made out of
see,
floor.
all of you see that the masonry is pristine. And then I'd also like just the magic users, which is probably all of you, I think, to also make an arcane roll. And Archmus, with your 21 perception, you notice something shimmering along these, I believe they're called ramparts, or this walkway up here. Shimmering ever so slightly, as if it's a mirage, or heat rising, something along those lines, but it only happens for a moment or two.
Can you hold the little circle where it was? Okay, up there.
Somewhere around there you see a bit of a shimmering, which is unlike anything that you've seen other than heat rising, but you don't see any sign of heat or fire there. And the rest of you make an assumption that this library is indeed magically guarded in some way or another. You're no stranger to that sort of thing, and you see this place has got court wizards guarding it, so, yeah.
We're also no strangers to love. We know the rules.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
So, Lorian, you're a mage, right?
I am a wizard, yes.
Wizard. That's it.
Yes. Would you like me to talk to them?
That would be a good idea.
I
one
agree.
Thing that before we start talking to them is that now we're talking a little bit lower, so these guys in front of us can't hear us. If it would help, I do know that getting your hands on fairy corpses or fairy bodies or similar might be a very difficult thing, or even things overall from the Feywild. So if the case is that we
I lean my hip
it
on
can
the
help it
wall.
along, you can mention that we do have things that they could study if we get access to the library.
I lean my
So,
head on my hand. Yes.
So you can go ahead and nod my head towards their way.
May I go? I can go now. Can I? Can I? Yes. Okay. Right. Hello there.
Yes?
You fellows know that you had a completely insane wizard conjuring devils in a tower over in the Harbor District.
Sir, I'm over here on your right. I'm the one who does the talking. He does the guarding.
Is this?
That's correct, ma'am.
What
Sir.
about the other guy?
Man, sir, yeah, nailed it.
Whatever. It doesn't really matter. Yes. The answer is yes.
Yes.
But did you know that you had a mad wizard summoning devils down by the harbor?
I'm sure the court wizards that are ordered to patrol them streets have taken care of it. Yes?
No, actually, no, they didn't. That was us. We assisted Briarwolf with that.
The court wizards were busy.
I suppose it takes one to know one.
Yes. The court wizards were busy with other things, I suppose. So anyway, my name is Lorian.
A pleasure.
And yeah, pleasure to meet you as well. I have traveled very, very far, and my compatriots and I were hoping to gain access to the archives for two purposes. One, to gain more information about the rot, which, by the way, I can tell you the origin of that disease, if you're interested. And the cure, if you're interested. I mean, I don't know if you would be, but I do happen to know both of those things. Also, we have a very interesting invisible Fey corpse that we would like to study and find a little bit more information about. If that's something that's not too mundane, you might find interesting to take a look at.
Well, I see you are indeed a perceptive wizard, because that is quite mundane for myself, a court wizard here. I am not a cleric. I don't concern myself with the plague. My abjuration magic is above that of most wizards in the entire realm. I need not worry about such things as plague. And I do appreciate your presence here, but I would need to see a diplomatic pass if you are even to step into the lobby of this library.
Oh, diplomatic pass. Yes, I think that can be arranged. Very well. I'll return later. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Now, tell me what your name was again, sir, ma'am.
Oh, yes. My name is Lorien.
You understand that everyone that comes here and approaches this gate must be registered, and we will do a background check on you.
Absolutely. I think you'll find my lineage to be quite amenable.
And I'll have you know that I can summon a fairy with the snap of my fingers should I choose to.
No one asked. Arvis gonna speak up from all the way in the back. He's like half leaning on the stone wall.
No one asked.
I can do that too. I just need find a frickin' smith or something to fix my damn gilded flower. So, it's not that uncommon thing to do. If you're bragging. So where would we be able to obtain? What would you say? An order or a
diplomatic pass.
Unless you're from
What she
Eldath,
said.
or unless you're from somewhere like Venzia, I don't see you ever getting in here.
Very well. You might
my
get
God.
surprised as to what we are able to accomplish.
Oh my! He's the
shall
fucking
we-
castle guard from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Your mother smells of
Yeah.
elderberries.
Nigga.
All I'm thinking that entire thing was just the freaking Wingardium Leviosa. That's all I could do.
So, you can summon fey creatures doesn't mean that you can study the fey creatures, belong like bodies and anatomy and such, because such creatures disappear once they die. This one is still, in this realm. We have a corpse that should be of significant interest of yours, or at least someone's in this castle or archive.
May I have a look at it?
Well, currently it's invisible, but I know there are spells that would make it appear. I pull out the chest and unlock it and open it and tell him that you are welcome to put your hand down there and feel the body parts. It's, I believe, a head, 2 legs, and a torso with arms. I can't recall, but you can probably feel it if you just find the pieces.
This is really weird to take out of context.
The wizard, let's see here. The
I
wizard...
lean against the wall with my eyebrows arched.
Yeah, just stick your arm in there. You'll feel the body parts. Yeah, that's good.
So the wizard casts 2 spells, and first has a look at it. And one of the spells he cast, he read from a scroll from his pocket. And he seems to be looking over it for quite a time. And he says, as a wood elf, I would expect you to realize that fairies are a common thing, but this is a most peculiar fairy indeed. I've not seen one like this with such raw fey power before.
Well, it was fucking with me pretty badly. I'm pretty satisfied over, well, the state that it is in. I have a predicament myself with this condition, if you will. I have a connection with a fey world that had this little fucker spawn in. I don't know how, but in my surrounding, it just appeared and did things. And it seems like I haven't had this issue for quite some while now, but it is still something that affects me, if that makes sense. I still hear voices of these little creatures coming out.
Before I send you on your way, I will say that there have been rumors that in LNF there have been some strange happenings with the Fae. Fairies no less. Mind control, whispering influential words and those of great power. That's all I have for you. And no, you cannot enter the library.
Understood. For a later time, when we do come back, and we will, I have these mushrooms that also comes from the Feywild. OOC, there are 20 mushrooms. Only says I have one in my inventory, but they are different colors and whatnot. I found them in this labyrinth that I told you about, so that you know. Well, I can just say this one. I found these in a labyrinth while walking a magical labyrinth with everything basically. They were living. And minotaurs were protecting its owner, so to speak, or whatever you might call it. They, I don't know what they are. Would you mind taking a look at them? And maybe you can find some use for them. And I hand over the 20 mushrooms. I would say they are in a leather bag. They should be dried up by now.
He looks at them and says, these are nothing more than mundane mushrooms, likely not poisonous, but they probably wouldn't taste good in a stew. And I would like you to make an insight roll on that statement of his. All of you actually can do that, if you're listening.
Instead of insight, I have detect thoughts as a second level spell.
I mean, theoretically you could.
So,
Can't they like tell when you cast that though?
So out of
Correct.
They
character.
can, okay.
So out of character, I will say at the end of the spell, they generally know that you've done it. If I remember correctly.
He's telling the truth. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll roll insight then.
So Rohal, so Lorien and Ulrich think nothing of the statement. Rohal and Archmus can tell that the wizard is embarrassed to admit that he has no idea what those mushrooms are or what they're capable of. They may be absolutely mundane, it may be true, but they may also be powerful. But he does not know, and he's embarrassed to admit it, so he's claiming that they are useless mushrooms.
Oh, yes, I would trust a great, powerful wizard like yourself to know. Thank you. Very helpful of you. Archmus seems like he's being entirely genuine.
He puts his chin up. The wizard puts his chin up and ignores Archmus.
I look again, as I did earlier with Archmus, at this guy, skeptical look, and just like shrugs and say, "I'll see you around."
He hands you the mushrooms. He hands the mushrooms.
Yeah, I was gonna say I put the mushrooms, take the mushrooms, and put them back into my bag, and just turn around and walk away.
When we're fairly out of earshot, I say, court wizards are wizards that can't make it on their own.
And as we walked past this little couple, and it looked like Lorian was pretty close to these guys, I nudge him so that he trips into them.
What? Really?
Yes.
You're knocking me into the couple?
So that would
Yes.
be a dex save from Lorian. I can't remember if Lorian has good dexterity.
Dang.
He stumbles forward, but not into the man. He catches his balance before stumbling into the man.
My
And then I say,
familiar
"Oh,
leaps.
I'm sorry."
My
I'm so
familiar
sorry.
leaps off
Shit.
of my shoulder. What does he have to?
Fucking Falmanar.
What does he have to? Valminar gets like right up. And Rohal's
Up and throws him at the guy.
That's like that driving down the highway at like 80 miles an hour meme. They're like right behind them.
Artemis is just walking to get to the
Anyways,
right of
I'm
all of them
saying,
with his
"Oh, I'm
hands
so
on his
sorry."
hips.
Pretty loud, and so that they would like hear it and maybe turn around. I say it towards Lorian, but still, they would like be more of a little bit of a ruckus, so to speak.
They
And
both
house metal.
turn and look toward you and say, "You folks look like you're from out of town," says the gentleman. "What brings you to Gryold?"
I'm just trying to save the world, you know. Stop
Ah.
an evil ancient god from killing all of the other gods. Stop the rot. You know, simple things like that.
The adventuring type.
Yes.
I'm
You
sure
never
some of the good stories must come with some sad ones as well. Do they not?
Yes, sir. Like the time we tried to free the slaves. We did manage to save some of them. I looked down at the ground sadly. Quite a harrowing tale that was.
What are their facial expressions?
They seem genuinely interested. They seem to be kind of... Well, as I mentioned, they're non-adventurers, so they seem to be very interested in the stories of said adventurers.
We, in this group, we are quite the merry couple of travelers. Lorian, I know, especially likes a glass of wine, I'd say. Would you care to share one with us all? Well, not really share one, but take one.
Oh, very much so, sir. But we are out here enjoying the view. Which tavern would you like to meet in later? Should we still have our energy about us?
Do you have a suggestion yourself?
Baron.
Yeah.
Well, I do. The Baron Hen is for locals, but we go there when we want somewhat of a familiar meal. But if we want to enjoy something with more of an adventurer's edge, and we like to live vicariously through them, we go to the Lucky Squirrel. That's in the Market Ward. Many of the
Alright.
adventurers tend to go there and speak with other adventurers about their travels, and just sitting at a quiet table nearby can be quite entertaining. Listening
Understood.
in.
We are actually trying to. We're looking for some information regarding how to get access to the archives right here. We also went here for the view, but also at the same time we thought we'd talk a little bit with the very friendly fellow at the gate over there. I was gonna see. Do you know anything about the place?
Well, I have to say, with all that's been going on, the library has been the least of people's worries. You see, we have the plague locking the city down, and the king himself has been making some very strange requests of both his guards and the people. You see, the harbor ward has been completely blocked off. No ships in, no ships out, and that's been causing many diplomats and sailors to grow restless, being locked in this port. It's been hurting the business, so aristocrats like myself who have large investments in foreign cities have been suffering as well. You see, Venzia is the capital of the entire realm, and lots of money comes from them. With our port closed off, we have a lot of people hurting, especially those who don't have their nuts saved up for the winter. And then down in the Tikari anchorage, we have the worsening plague situation, which is just outside the city walls. Within the city walls, it's been fairly calm, but there are some people who are not as well off there, and they don't know how to handle the plague as well. So the guards and the court wizards have been spending much of their time there trying to contain it.
Understood.
And then you have the merchants that are struggling to make a coin during these troubling times, and the guards often coming across as quite confused. Maybe you as outsiders don't see it as well as we because we're familiar with the city, but many of the guards seem confused and worried about their orders, and their orders come from higher up. Something just isn't right.
Understood. Well, as you might have a bit of influence in the city, one could believe, considering your position as you said, aristocrat?
Influence? No. Do I have a comfortable place to stay and lay my head during these troubling times? Yes. But no influence. I am retired
No
and
influence.
the son of a very wealthy father, I admit, and we live comfortably and well, and we do try to live our best lives and help others when we can. And we also contribute to the orphanage. We have many orphans. Adventurers like yourselves sometimes inevitably leave behind young or people who travel in and out, and of course there's the sailors. So we do help where
I
we
am
can.
one myself. I know the life. Well, I was thinking, because you might be well connected in any case, we are working on finding a cure for this plague that is battering this world, and we're also we're looking at the core issues, and that is one of our main causes for trying to get into these archives and read their getting information from there to be able to better solve or help the situation, so to speak. Is it possible that you could point me in some direction, or perhaps introduce me to someone who might have potential to help us in to the archive?
Well, I will say those are some very out-of-the-box ideas. Now, there is a place for people who do think often outside the box. You might come across some strange individuals, but people who, and don't take this the wrong way, sir, but people who are maybe conspiracy theorists or do like to look at the more overlooked parts of the city tend to frequent the Hardy Harlequin. Now, that place has closed down. There's, it's been rough. It's been rough in Malar's Throat district, which is not too far from the Tikari anchorage. And I believe that they have suffered some damage from a hurricane not too long ago, so I don't know if they're open for business, but the Hardy Harlequin is a place I would look for answers.
Understood. Then, before we meet you up at said other location, we will likely go take a look at the... They were actually talking about that location, so I will definitely check it out now. Thank you for the information. I'll see you around. Let's have that glass of wine.
And what was your name again?
Rohal. What was yours?
The name is Thurgle Dwagith. Legit name. I'm having a
Totally
hard time.
didn't just pull
No,
that out
no,
of your
no, no,
ass?
no, no. I have it written down. It's just it's THRGAL. Thurgal Dwalgith. It's straight from an NPC generator. Human. Okay, human aristocrat. Okay, anyway, Thurgal Dwalgith. Nobleman. Yeah.
Greetings, good to meet you. I shall see you later.
If our energy is about us, we do turn in early these days, but if we are awake, we will see you at the Lucky Squirrel.
Here, have some good berries. They
I'll be back. I
are,
have to go eat, but there's no need to stop. I'll be back within 20 minutes.
All right.
Sure.
Okay.
I hand them some. I hand them 2 good berries out of my inventory.
They nod, and the woman has her arm around the man, and she seems to be listening intently, and also nods toward you as she accepts the good berries.
All right, and I walk away.
All right. Okay then.
Finally
So-
done.
We're playing dice on the grass
we're
over
playing
here.
We're playing dice.
It's too bad Artemis walked away, because this would be a good time for you guys to catch him up in character now that your adventures have come to a pause.
Hey, during that short rest, during that conversation,
Also,
we could short rest.
Artemis should be reacting to Ulrich. No, Ray, you put on the ring.
I
You put
got the ring
back
back
on again, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
purposely had Artemis show up right after the ring was put on. That way,
Yeah.
Ulrich can make that decision if he wants to,
Oh,
quote
the
unquote,
ring's
come
still
out
on.
to him about
Um,
his appearance.
No.
Is
Bring that
it
up, I'm
is it
gonna hit
like? Is there water puddles around? Are there water puddles around?
There's not water puddles here. I mean, there's water down here, but that's salt water. And then you
Yeah.
have the
Yeah,
the
the
gentle
sea bit down.
the gentle flurries of snow are not really causing puddles.
Can if I use shape water, or what is it called? Yeah, shape water. Can I unfreeze the water or something and control it?
It's not frozen, but you certainly can control it.
Oh, I thought you said like snow.
Oh, you mean the? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant the salt water. Yeah, no, you can do something to the flurries. I don't know what it is you're planning to do, but
I am going to like splash the water over their dice.
oofed. Yeah, you can
Oh,
do that.
so-
Let's go, chaps. As I do it.
You splashed our dice.
Hey,
Yes, I splash your dice. There is if you continue, I will do something else.
Well, how about you continue on down the road?
You gonna continue playing dice?
Yes.
Yes.
I throw frostbite and freeze the ground where I splash the water.
So, what does he have to roll to dodge my familiar shitting on his head? Can a familiar owl shit on something?
That would be a Constitution to see if they can fortify a
Roll
ship.
your dice.
Roll your dice.
No. The owl has to do a Constitution to try to shit first.
Okay. How do we roll for that?
low?
How
It's
do we
trying to roll. It's trying to roll high because it's trying to force a shit.
itself.
That's how do you,
Because
how
you
do
have not fed that owl in some time, ever.
Familiar don't need to be fed.
That's true.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
shit. There's a bombardment of shit.
Roll your dex save.
So now
Or
you
is that
have to
your
do,
dex roll?
now you have to do a dex save.
Okay, let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty high.
Roll deftly just does a juke and dodges the shit.
So, I just use my damn, what's it called, mold earth, and basically muddies Lorian's boots and some of his pants, parts of his pants.
So
I look down at my boots. I look up. I look over at Falmanar. I look back.
I snap my fingers and the boots are clean. I cast prestidigitation. Too bad.
I'm gonna make a roll for
Yeah,
Faminar.
I
real quick.
assume that you would have prestidigitation.
I do. I don't know if Orion does.
You are
He's
the
rude.
rudest. You are the rudest druid. You have been throwing mud and frost and knocking into people,
I'm
and
trying to get results here, and you're
And-
playing dice. and-
freezing beer.
Freezing beer.
Yeah, he's not supposed to drink in the morning.
Who says?
J-
It's 5
Drunk.
o'clock somewhere.
Tipsy.
You've come into our little group here, or you're a newcomer, and you're trying to tell us what to do. And I just wonder, how far do you think that's going to get you?
Well, you said you had the same, going in the same direction as I was, trying to get into the library and trying to get the information on these different predicaments that we have. We do
Well,
share the same
it was
goal.
more I was
am
willing to
pushing
help
it
you get into the
forward.
library, and I thought, well, it could be useful.
Mm-hmm. It will
But
certainly be
that-
useful.
that doesn't mean you get to top me, sweetheart.
You're not better.
Top you.
Because I've got news for you.
Mm-hmm.
Lorian don't play that way.
What way?
You're not going to be bossing me around.
Sure.
And you're
What
not going
can
to
I
be
do
throwing
to,
mud at me and my people, and frost, and interrupting our dice games.
Well, if I want to go somewhere, should I head there on my own?
If you can't be polite and
How
ask
can I?
and use your words instead of throwing various substances at us in disapproval. Hello? Who's this?
Cedric shows up, and Cedric says,
Cedric!
"I was wondering where you were. I saw you all leave the bear and hen earlier. Are you all
Another friend of
arguing?"
yours?
Well, yes.
I'm
How are
trying
you
to be,
doing, Cedric? It's been so long. Like, at least a day.
It's been a morning. It's been a morning.
A morning.
But
Did you do the
Eldath is
spider thing?
Eldath is with us.
That's-
The snow is coming
I
down,
get.
and it feels just right, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely. It's a lovely, snowy, muddy day. You know, this is our friend Cedric. Cedric is a druid, and you know what Cedric never did? Cedric never threw mud at us. Did you, Cedric?
Well, no, but I've had ooze thrown at me once. It was very sticky.
Would not
So
recommend.
I try not to let that happen to others, because it was unpleasant. It burned my robe.
Hey, he had a magic robe. Didn't get
Magic
it.
robe.
Oh,
Wait,
Yes,
no, he had a
that
magic
was-
robe.
would
Yes,
and
that
I
was
say
nasty.
this in the Druid language to him. So how do you make them stop playing dice and get on with the day?
Politely.
Well, it is easy for us to clear our minds, not so with these bards and wizards. You have to sometimes give them time to themselves. Their minds are always tinkering, whereas you and I can very easily clear our thoughts. All we need is a blade of grass or a cloud, and we find our inner peace. They do not. And we are in a city. They're going to be like children looking at shiny things all day long.
Fair point.
My boy.
And going back to, I unfreeze the water covering the dice, and just like with my hand at it to the people that were actually playing it, and continue talking, just cold talking with what's his face?
Cedric, the other druid.
Cedric, right? Yeah.
Boy, do I got news for you.
So Cedric says, I heard tell from a guard or two that you were involved in something. What did I miss this time?
What did you kind of
Oh.
blow up this time?
We killed a crazy wizard that was summoning barbed devils and was involved with the Order of Whispers. It all keeps tying back together.
You know, you might get yourselves killed. I was hired for a job to navigate a ship, and I've done that job. What drives all of you to continue pursuing these dangerous people? What is
Well,
Money.
the problem is that if we don't take care of it, who will? And if no one takes care of it, you know, the world ends in nasty pink crystals and non-consensual tentacle things, and I mean, who wants that? I mean, we came to have the knowledge, and with knowledge comes responsibility.
it? And what of the wizard? What was he up to? He clearly was a powerful wizard up there in that tower.
He was making a compact. Well, here, look. I show him the letter that we found.
May I keep this? May I read this?
Can you read Infernal? It was in Infernal, wasn't it? Was it in
Infernal.
Actually, let me check.
Yeah, I
I
forget.
can read it.
Well, we know that.
If he can't.
He
It
can.
was in. Well, let me see what it was written in. It was written in.
It was Infernal. You said
What did I?
Infernal,
What
that's
did
why
I
read
call
it.
it?
Oh, wait, the
Was
books
yes.
were-
It is. It is infernal. It is infernal, and I'm going to check
And he
Cedric.
can
Cedric.
read it.
Cedric can read infernal.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Cedric
Oh.
says.
Cool.
In fact, I can.
Not alone.
Oh,
Cedric.
here, take a look.
Interesting that he was.
So, roll insight, Lorian, please. Cedric nods as his eyes gloss over it, and
19.
you sense that Cedric is mimicking somebody reading over it, pretending to read over it. He says, "So what do you make of it?"
He's pretending to read over it, not actually reading over it?
You think possibly that's what's happening, but you're not sure.
Oh,
This is like thinking like these idiots.
God, can I look at the... Well, I think that the reach of the Order of Whispers goes farther than we originally anticipated. And it's definitely something that we have to keep a close eye out for, because they're in compact with that which lurks beneath. Which means they are a major threat as well. And they are involving infernal forces. This wizard was doing something for them, creating a place in the plane of ash for them, I think, or something like that. Anyway, it's clear that he was up to no good and was given an artifact that drove him insane. So it's a good thing that he's out of the picture, at least, and not pouring devils into the city. But
Must have been a cursed artifact, or was it something of a different nature?
oh,
That's a pretty intense insight roll, Rohal.
yeah, that is.
So
Yeah, I was gonna
Rohal,
see whether I like realized this as well and got any like, is he under some form of influence? Is basically what I was gonna.
so Rohal determines that Cedric was not reading the letter at all, and was claiming to have read it. And he seems to be very interested in this wizard and his involvement with the Order of Whispers.
So
It might
this
not
seems
be.
you
It
guys
might
seem
not
to
be
know
Cedric.
each other. You guys might. You guys know
Oh,
each other?
Cedric.
You,
Cedric, yes, Cedric. Do you remember the monastery that we went to? Those monks, they were crazy, weren't they? They really knew how to party, didn't they?
Monks, I believe you came across the Yeti, did you not? We made it out just in the nick of time.
So, looking at mainly the mages, do you happen to have anything or know anything that might like more like mellow tone, like just so like walking up closer to them, like so that Cedric might not hear it as well, or like he's talking to Lorian, right? Like pointing in that direction.
Yeah.
Then it would be who's standing next to me there? That would be Ulrich, yeah?
Yeah.
Ulrich and Artemis.
Ulrich is on your left and Artemis is on your right.
Yeah. I lean into Ulrich, basically whispering and asking him if you guys, do any of you guys know any form of spells that might reveal a person's, if they're under the influence of some creature or anything else?
Okay, so that's
I
going to
believe,
require, let's see here, we're going to use for that, I would like you to make a stealth check.
A whisper.
Yeah, because you're standing pretty fucking
like-
close to
you're like
him.
right next to him.
Yeah, so do
Like
just a stealth check.
if I lean in and say that, okay, whatever.
I mean, if you lean in, he's going to know you're whispering.
So something you don't know out of character is that Cedric could read lips.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Yeah, just gonna notice that.
Well, I know what you said.
Well, I mean, he's pointing. I'm standing behind him,
I'll tell you out of
or
character.
like sideways behind him.
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
pet. What was his passive?
Cedric
What
did
you
not.
check?
Cedric did not seem to notice what you were saying, even with an 8.
Alright.
Cedric says again to Lorien, so what was it that made the wizard mad?
Madness.
I think that he had too much laudanum, maybe.
Deception roll.
Let's see how we do.
I mean, that doesn't really require a deception roll. It could be in a more facetious manner, but deception works.
Well-
Whenever you're lying, you basically do have to roll deception.
Well, so out of character, Ev can tell me, does she believe that it was the deck of many things, or does she believe that it was potentially something else? Because depending on what the character believes, it could be a difference between persuasion or honesty or deception. Because
Well,
if he
he knows
truly believes that it was the deck of many things, then it's a deception.
He knows
But-
that the deck of many things is dangerous and can do dangerous things to you. And he felt that the mage was far too crazy to really accomplish things really competently. Therefore, it would be logical to assume that it was the deck of many things that did that.
Understood. So, Cedric says, Lorien, I know you well enough to know that it wasn't simply the laudanum. I'm excited to hear about this. I take a day off, and this is what happens.
I thought that you were parting from us, going your separate way. You just wanted to do a sailing job, and got caught up, and didn't want to have anything more to do with, saving the world.
Well, as a man of the sea, it seems that us sailors must remain in port for quite some time, so it seems like we're all stuck in the same pickle, are we not?
So you're bored.
The port is locked down, and I'm in a wonderful city full of drinking women, and not enough trees, so I must get my mind off of this.
I see.
I don't feel quite at home in a city, you see.
You've been doing the spider thing lately?
No. The city
Well, how about-
the city is quite liberal with their magical laws, but they wouldn't appreciate me climbing on walls or acting out of the ordinary.
How about being a cat?
I haven't tried that yet.
No.
It being a little bit,
There's enough cats in town.
it being a little bit cold. Sorry, it being a little bit cold. I use my cantrip, produce flame to warm everyone up a little bit. Cuddle up a little bit closer to each other.
Toasty.
Don't like half of us already have like a warm cloak on?
But see now
I don't think I do.
see now Cupcake, isn't that so much better than throwing mud at people? Perhaps he can learn.
This
Perhaps.
is productivity, but go ahead.
Oh, and we've met a couple of people since you wandered off. This is Ulrich, and this is Rohal.
Pleasure to meet you
Greetings.
both. Greetings, greetings. Perhaps I'll see you later at the Lucky Squirrel. It seems to be the place for people like us. I bid you adieu. Farewell.
Yeah, take care. Be safe out there, Cedric.
Yeah. Have fun with
Hey, he takes off,
whatever
and
you're doing.
I turn to the party. That was very weird because I showed him the letter, and he said he could read it, but he didn't. It was very obvious to me that he wasn't reading it. Did anybody else pick up on that?
He definitely didn't read it. I don't think that was your friend. That was probably something else. Did you notice any discrepancies in his
he knew about the
personality?
Yetis, but he said you encountered Yetis, not we encountered Yetis. So that was pretty odd.
Well, we should try to find some.
He loves
Hold
turning
on.
into animals.
Hold on. Interesting thing. We've been dealing with demons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are demons? Do demons? I don't know that much about demons, but do demons enter people when they have influence over them?
It depends.
Because if I found this scroll on the magician from earlier, if the demon has entered the person, it's the scroll of protection against fiends. If the creature is in him and he walks towards me and walks within, 5 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 10 feet, I'm not sure, whatever, within a certain distance from me, then he will be stopped. He won't be able to walk closer to me, and that might prove our theory, because as far as I know, we don't know whether we don't know how to identify whether he is under the influence of something. Correct?
Yes, I have no way of detecting that, honestly.